If you ever wondered what the difference is like to drive a rear engine versus a mid-engine Porsche, other than the fact that the internet will flame you for driving one of these because it's not a real Porsche, then continue watching this video. Behind me is a 2021 Porsche 718 Boxster S, and in the silver corner is a 2020 911 Carrera S. This uses a turbocharged 4-cylinder Boxster engine that uses a twin turbocharged Boxster 6-cylinder engine. Now, obviously, visually, we can tell that there are some proportion and design differences between the Boxster / the Cayman and the 911. But the only thing that matters, really, when you're buying a Porsche, especially because we all know you're not buying a Porsche for looks, is the drive, and if it fits your driving preferences. We're starting off first in the mid-engine car, my personal favorite, and we're gonna talk specifically about what it feels like to go around a corner, because that's all that matters, really. A straight line is not what Porsche is all about. It's all about the corners. This 4-cylinder sounds very good, by the way. It has little pops, little crackles. But the first thing you'll notice, especially when you go to the first turn, is that this car feels a lot more neutral and natural when it turns compared to the 911. Because the weight is evenly distributed in the middle, it doesn't feel weird when it rotates. What you'll notice in the 911 is because that weight is on the rear axle, that provides for a little bit of a pendulum effect when you're turning. You don't have to drift it to feel that. And so some people really enjoy that. But what that does come with is a little bit of on-center understeer, which this car doesn't have. This car just wants to rotate. Now, obviously, you can get a mid-engine Porsche in a 6-cylinder just like you can get it in a 911. However, this is a 4-cylinder turbo, single turbo, and feels pretty good. Could use a little bit more torque, but I like it, and I like the sound. So we were spinning a little bit there. I think this is open diff. By the way, this PDK is just so lightning quick, it's crazy. With this car, especially when you're taking corners, as I said, that front end just feels a little bit lighter than the 911, and it just feels more keen to rotate, which is good for less experienced drivers. But as you guys will see now in the 911 is really suited for a technical driver, because with the 911 and how the weight distribution is set up, you can actually brake a lot later because of how the weight is distributed. When you brake into a corner, what is called trail braking, you are transferring the weight to the front axle, so no longer is most of the weight sitting on that rear axle. Because you're slamming on those brakes, it's a little bit more balanced. I don't know if it's 50-50 or not, but it allows you to kind of get on the gas earlier, and it makes it so that you can brake later and later as you keep on going on laps and laps, especially with the 911, because those are track weapons. And it allows you to really just get crazy with it, which this car is going to start sliding a little bit more when you start doing that. Now, the rear engine has a lot of grip. However, when you exceed the limit of that grip, it is going to be a pendulum effect where that back is really going to come rotating a lot faster than the front. Which, because this is a mid-engine car, it's still going to do this more than, let's say, like a 50-50 distribution BMW. But it's going to be more exacerbated in the 911. And guys, just like that, we are in the 992 911, which is the rear engine car. Now, guys, this is a coupe, but don't let the fact that this is a coupe and that's a convertible distract from the fact that we're talking about the difference between rear engine and mid-engine. This car, as I said before, that rear turns a little bit faster than the mid-engine car, and so you got to be ready for it. Only thing is, you can't get a twin turbocharged flat 6 mid-engine Porsche while the wheels are spinning up there. you're still going dead straight because of that rear engine weight distribution. It can still light up the tires, but you're not going to be fishtailing in rapid, crazy angles like that. It's for the most part going to just stay dead straight. So yeah, as I said, guys, the 911 is definitely for the more technical driver because you are able to, I would say, put a little bit more G-force through the corners than you are with the mid-engine car, just with that rear engine layout. You are able to brake a lot later than you would in the mid-engine car. Definitely more understeer, 100%. You can definitely feel that, but that also provides for a little bit more safety. Much more mid-range torque, especially because this is a twin-turbo flat six compared to a single-turbo four-cylinder. That rear engine, if you were to be drifting this car and doing something stupid, you would have to really, really be able to catch it and quickly, because this rear, it's planted, but when it goes, and you got to be ready for it. I feel a little bit more steering feel through this car. That could just be due to the fact that this is on lowering springs. Yeah, much more torque. But yeah, guys, that's what I would say the difference is between rear engine and mid-engine. Mid-engine is for the beginner, I would say. It is a little bit more forgiving and it's a little bit more predictable. Rear engine, I would say, is a little bit more planted in certain situations, but it's definitely for the more experienced driver. And with the rear engine setup, you are able to drive it just that tad bit harder than you would in a mid-engine car. And guys, as always, if you guys are interested in either this 911 or the Boxster S, it is up for sale at Washington Exotics in Sterling, Virginia. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Till next time, keep subscribed for more videos.